adjust my camera. I apologize. Just a quick second here. Yeah, that should work better. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome into another video. Now, of course, I mentioned in my video yesterday that I would be recording a video tomorrow recapping the Final Four game tonight between Indiana Wesleyan and Briarcliff, which I will still do that. And I also mentioned, I think later in the week, I planned on utilizing my Spotify podcast website to talk about the top 25 statistical leaders from all the Crossroads League teams in terms of points per game, and I'm still going to do that, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So my final YouTube video is either going to be tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'll strictly be going to my Spotify podcast website to talk about all the statistical leaders from this season. So you can find me there on Spotify for creators at Matt's Sports Talk. There's a picture of a basketball next to my name, Matt Sports Talk, and that is me, so make sure that you give me a follow there. And then, of course, I'll be back here on YouTube next season recapping all of the Crossroads League teams. Now, I know, like, all the non-conference games, I'm not going to do those, but definitely once we get to conference play next year for all the league teams, men and women, recording videos recapping all those games, so make sure that you stay tuned for that next season. I did want to record a video today, and I was thinking this morning, maybe I should record a video talking about my experience. Well, not me specifically, but me and my family's experience out in Sioux City, Iowa, talking about our trip and at least talking about the basketball side of things. And I will say that, so I did want to record a video talking about that. So without further ado, we're going to dive in. And I will say, like, it is just absolutely amazing and to have gotten the chance to go out there and support my favorite team and stay in, and fun fact, stay at the same hotel as what my favorite team did. And we actually our hotel room was, directly across from some of the other IWU girls, so that obviously was really, really cool. And in fact, we had, I think, directly across from us, we had, I think, three of them, and then 4 of them diagonally across from us. So it was a lot of fun, and it was funny because right after we got to the hotel to check in and got up in the elevator, I actually ran into 3 of them in the elevator: Tori Thompson, Corin Grivey, and Emily Mattingly. And I said hey to all 3 of them. They said hey to me, so that was obviously pretty cool. But I will say, like, our drive out there was just, it was amazing, and of course for us, at least 2 out of the 3 of us in my family, we had never been to Iowa. All 3 of us had never been to Nebraska or South Dakota, so we crossed over the border long enough to get 2 pictures across the Nebraska border and the South Dakota border, so that was really cool. But, outside of that, like, it was just so cool to just go out there, have lots of fun, and the Tyson Event Center where the final site games are held, I consider it the Super Bowl version of the NAIA women's basketball, and it is just absolutely amazing. And I just would like to say that for any other of our Crossroads League schools, I know that that Indiana Wesleyan, Marion, they've made it out there, and I think maybe St. Francis out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, I'm not totally sure about them, but down from them, for this year, talk about Spring Arbor, talk about Huntington, Mount Vernon Nazarene, Goshen, Taylor, Bethel, and Grace, those teams have, at least since I've been following the Crossroads women's basketball, those teams, I don't believe, have ever made it out to Sioux City, Iowa. And I want to say firsthand that if any of those remaining teams ever get a chance to advance out to Sioux City, they are going to love it. It is just such a great atmosphere. The event center is a fantastic venue, and just the atmosphere, at the highest level in terms of the NAIA, it's absolutely amazing to be a part of. And I just want to say, like, that was just so much fun for us being able to go out there for the very first time this year, experience that. And I really hope we're able to go back next year if Indiana Wesleyan advances back out there. I really hope that we're able to go back next year, because it is just absolutely amazing. And I must say that if you're traveling on Interstate 80, but in Iowa, you are going to pass the world's largest truck stop. We didn't have time to stop there this trip, but if we go back out there next year, if Iowa advances, we definitely have plans of stopping there. I've heard so many good things about it, seen pictures of all the souvenirs that they have inside, and that definitely it would be a stop to go. And I would encourage any other team that advances out there, at least from this part of the country, to stop at that rest stop. It is just amazing, and I hope we get the chance to do that. But you know, with all that said, like Indiana Wesleyan's game versus Georgetown College out of Kentucky on Thursday, or Friday morning, I should say, that was just so cool to be a part of, and the atmosphere was amazing. Iowa ended up winning, which I know I talked about that in my recap video, and man, like, the experience is just incredible. And I know I've said that before, and I'll probably keep on saying that, but that was just how awesome the experience was. We made so many good memories, and our trip home was quite eventful. I will say that. I'm not going to dive into specific details about that, but it was quite an adventure getting back home here to Mount Vernon, Ohio, and being back at my normal recording location. And so, you know, it was a fabulous trip, and you know, it might take a couple more days to fully catch up on sleep, get used to the Eastern time zone again. But again, it's just so cool going out there, being a part of that, and just, you know, going through Iowa and seeing all of the flat land and of course they had the blizzard out there right before we were out there, and there were snow drifts literally right next to the side, literally high snow drifts over to the right of the roadway along the fence line, just piled high, and of course I had never seen anything like that. You know, you go out there, you see nothing but farms as far as the eye can see. There's literally no other buildings in view, and then of course the closer you get to Sioux City along Route 20, you know, there's more and more hills. There what looks like mountains. You know, it is just absolutely incredible, just the scenic view the closer you get to Sioux City, you know, and you go through, you know, we went Interstate 70 to Interstate 74 to, we were on Interstate 80 for a little bit, then Interstate, I believe, 280 in Illinois right before the Iowa border, Interstate 380 between, right when we got past Peoria, Illinois, up towards Cedar Rapids and Waterloo, Iowa, and then Highway 20 straight across after that. So it's definitely quite scenic, I can tell you that, and definitely thankful we were able to go. Just absolutely incredible, and just, you know, and the experience and the memories it's going to be with you the rest of your life, and I know I can definitely say that. It's just absolutely amazing. And you know, and then of course you have the final four teams that are left: Bethel College out of Tennessee, Dordt University out of Iowa, and then of course Briarcliff also out of Iowa, and Indiana Wesleyan out of Marion, Indiana. So, and again, it's been a fantastic tournament, and definitely glad we're able to see that. And then of course we stayed for the second game on Friday afternoon, watched Indiana Tech out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Freed-Hardman, the Lions of Freed-Hardman, out of Tennessee, and that was a really good game. So we had lots of fun. Definitely enjoyed all the memories, that is for sure. You know, and obviously, you know, it feels great being back home, but man, just the memories of this trip is just absolutely incredible, for sure. And definitely hope that we're blessed to be able to go back out there next year if Indiana Wesleyan advances once again next year. So thanks so much for tuning in to this video with me sharing about the experience to Sioux City and just how awesome it was. And if you did enjoy this video, or if it was helpful to you, please either hit the like button, comment down below, or subscribe to my channel. Any one of those options helps me out greatly. And again, I truly appreciate any feedback that you give me. So thanks so much for watching this video, and have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week as well. And God bless.